I mean, right now it's just scuttlebutt. You know, even the way it was written was like they could go after him and all that. This is so unlikely for many reasons. One, financially. I mean, Boston's got no more big contracts other than Hayward, who they're obviously not trading. Al Horford would virtually have to be in the deal. And if you're Memphis, why would you do that? Gasol's better.
Yes.
I mean, unless you want to start over and you can get a big package of draft picks.
But here's the thing. Are they going to start over with, they just gave Mike Conley a max deal. Gasol's only 32. He's on a huge deal.
Yeah.
He's an icon there. He went to high school there. And they gave Chandler Parsons a huge. Now, they'd give Chandler Parsons to Boston, but I don't see them starting over because they gave up Zach Randolph, but he's 36. Tony Allen may be headed to the Clippers or elsewhere. He's 35. And you know how it is in some of these smaller markets, particularly Memphis, they love that team. And they love Conley and Gasol.
Yep.
And they get to the playoffs, they play well.
And they play hard.
Yeah,
They're tough.
Not that they don't want a title, but that's kind of enough there. Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? So I don't see it happening, but let's entertain it. If it does happen, if it did happen, and even if they could keep Horford, I still wouldn't pick them over Cleveland, but they'd be better. And you could imagine with Gasol and Gordon Hayward and Brad Stevens, a great passing game, ball movement. Now, the thing is, how would Isaiah fit into that? Because he's always been on teams where he can just do whatever he wants. He's the focal point. And even if they got past Cleveland, how in the world would they guard Golden State? Gasol, Horford, Hayward. I mean, they not guarding Golden State. So would they do all of that? Max Horford, Max Gasol, Max Hayward. Maybe you have to max Isaiah in the future to just finish second at best. With all those assets that they have, I don't see it happening.
Oh, I guess they're trying to make. I guess they were to get Gasol. They're gonna say, "See, we got a Bird and a McHale combo. Oh, we really gonna do it now." No, you're not. It's not gonna happen because you know why, Skip? Your best player is 5'9" tall. He's a ball-dominant player, and what Gordon Hayward is gonna find out, the way that George Hill was getting him the ball, he knew every night, more times than not, I'm gonna get the most shots.
That is true, and he was getting them right in his wheelhouse every night.
And he won't anymore.
Marc Gasol, like, okay, I'm the first or second best player on my team. Mike Conley is a facilitator. He is a pass the ball, score second. Not over there, he's not. So it'll be very, very interesting. I know what Danny Ainge, you're just like, I'm going to get a compilation of talent. See, what Kevin Durant and the Warriors did, they made it look so easy and so seamless. But nobody else has an offense like that. Nobody else is ball dominant. So it was easy for Kevin Durant to go fit in because the ball's going to find the open guy. You're going to chase one guy out the three, so somebody else is out of position. They swing the ball because the ball will move faster through the air than you can on the ground. But so what? You want to, first of all, they got to trade 4 or 5 people just to try to get Gordon Hayward.
You give up all your depth.
Yeah.
If you kept
Well, by the way, I mean, the more I read, it feels like just to pay Gordon Hayward, they're going to wind up with like 4 players on their roster. Like I don't know if they're going to have enough to play 5. No, seriously.
Like Olynyk and Crowder will probably be the ones.
And you probably gonna have to move
Smart and Avery.
Bradley.
See, if I'm them, I want to keep Avery Bradley.
Well, I got it,
really
but can
wanna
you?
keep Avery Bradley.
Can you do the math?
Well, Smart, I would send Smart away. But, you know, if they don't want to pay Avery next year when he's a free agent, maybe they'll send him. But
Avery
he's
is
valuable.
probably more tradable than Marcus Smart is.
Yeah.
Right?
What you gonna do with that 5'9" guy that want to get maxed out?
Okay, I agree. I
yeah.
agree. But I'm going to do Chris's hypothetical. Let's just say they do acquire Marc Gasol.
And they keep Horford.
And they keep Horford. I don't know how you even mathematically pull that off, but let's just do the hypothetical, the pipe dream of this. It would certainly narrow the gap with Cleveland because Marc Gasol, I'm a big fan because he is one of the better passing big men I have ever watched. He's up in the realm with a Tim Duncan. And last year he averaged a career-high 5 assists. And by the way, he reinvented his body last year because he was pretty pudgy and he got in pretty good shape. He looked the part last year. And he's not a big rebounder, never has been. Career high 9, only 6 last year, but he averaged a career high 20 points last year because he started making 3-point shots.
Yeah.
He was attempting 4 a game, which is pretty high for
for
7'1",
Yeah.
right? And he was making 39% of his threes last year. And I know against my Spurs in that first round, he was killing us from the 3-point line. So he's a player, and he's got 2 years left at $22 million and 24, which given today's dollars is not, it's just sort of okay, okay money, not huge money.
Right.
So if you could acquire him and pay him only 22 and 24 at ages 33 and 34, when I still think he'll be very productive, it would be a good.
Yeah, I mean, he's only, like you said, he's only 32, and he's a skilled big man. He's not killing you with athleticism.
Right.
So I think he's going to be good for several years remaining.
Okay.
And think about what you just said, Skip. He had a career high with over 5 assists. That's right in line with Isaiah Thomas. He's a 7-1 big man.
He would be their best passer. They
He
would
be
run
their
the
best
offense
passer.
through him.
I would agree. But I am with Shannon on this, and I think I was pre-Shannon on this. The ceiling is low for Boston because they can't get away from a 5'9", shoot-first point guard who can't defend. Well, that's just it's just so hard to win championships that way. Do I love his heart and his soul and his gut? Yes. And will he take and make big shots? You better believe he will. He's as good a fourth quarter late game shooter as there is.
First.
Okay.
Well, he stumbled down the end.
He did.
Westbrook ended up catching him.
Westbrook barely passed him. But the point is, game in and game out, he still has to go defend somebody at 5'9", and I don't think he's a really willing defender to start with. It doesn't appear to my eye that he is, like he doesn't take it that seriously or personally.
Well, Skip, he's not that bad at defense. He was just 410 out of 411 players.
Yeah, that's
But that's not, I mean, he wasn't dead last. I mean, you could have been last. That belonged to McDermott.
Right. So I'm going to say again what I would have done if I had the first overall pick. I'm taking Lonzo Ball because he's going to change my culture in my life. And then I'm going to trade for Jimmy Butler. Whatever it takes, I'm just going to go get him. Whatever draft pick they want in my stockpile, I'm going to give it. And now I got something.
Could have done
now,
it. Yeah,
now I'm
he
doing-
could have done all that.
Skip, they went it
They still
reverse.
got Hayward.
They
Yeah.
wanted Gordon. They wanted Gordon. They wanted to make sure they got Gordon Hayward. Man, look here. I like Gordon. I'm like I said, I'm not the biggest Gordon Hayward fan. Gordon Hayward is not a better player than Paul George. He's not better than Jimmy Butler.
No.
And all things being equal, I would have given up. Look,
The
draft
thing-
picks are like eggs, though.
The
You
thing
don't know
was
what's gonna
they
hatch.
could get Hayward without giving up anything. That's the only. I don't even. I'm sure Boston knows Paul George is better. Jimmy Butler, I think they may think he's better, but you'd have to give up your assets to get him. So you're like, look, Hayward's close. We can get him and keep these assets.
What good is money if
And
you
who
can't?
knows what Jason Tatum?
What good is money if you can't spend it?
I hear you. And
What you saving them for, Skip? You waiting for LeBron to get old?
I'm with you. That's the one theory I co-sign on that you've had from the start. Danny Ainge is waiting for LeBron just to flat out get old.
it's not a bad plan because you're still. Well, look, you're good. It's not like you're at the bottom. You're really good.
You were the
You're
one
relevant.
seed.
The fans
Yeah.
love you. And then when he's gone or whatever, gets old, maybe you can surpass him.
Right,
But
and
I
Eddie
think I
House-
like your idea.
Yeah, but thank you.
Lonzo,
Yeah,
Jimmy Butler.
That would have worked. But
Yeah.
Eddie House made a good point on Gordon Hayward. As much as we don't love him, well, you got him now for the what did they sign him for?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
So as you get 2 years from now, 3 years now, 4 years from now, well, LeBron will get older,
Yeah.
and you'll still have Gordon Hayward as he continues to mature as a basketball player.
But that's under the assumption that nobody else gets better. You assuming that
true.
LeBron's gonna fall off, we're gonna ascend, but no one else.
Philadelphia,
Yeah.
Miami, teams are coming.
The only team I count out is Brooklyn, because they might get
They might get stuck with that Otto Porter contract.
they'll get somebody and they'll trade him away.